Well, gamers, burnout came early this year. If you're a terminally online member of the community like me, you'll have noticed that what's typically the third season slump of a year in Destiny 2 has hit us bright and early in the second quarter. Even I was not immune to this burnout. If I could direct you to my video page, you'll see I haven't pretty much posted anything since last season, and that's not just me. A hearty combination of seasonal model fatigue and a slew of just stellar games releasing in the last few months really hit Destiny hard this season. I mean, come on. We got Final Fantasy 16, Diablo 4, Remnant 2, Baldur's Gate 3, and if you're me, Yakuza 3 and chess. All just modern masterpieces. How can Destiny even compete? And the true tragedy of it all? While I was catching up these last few weeks, I had a revelation. Season of the Deep is good, y'all. Like, real good, especially those story reveals at the end. Jesus. First off, I loved Titan in vanilla Destiny 2. Am I disappointed that it's not back as a patrol zone this season? Yeah, man. Really, really disappointed. But I am glad it came back at all. And we did see that coming. In a Lightfall side quest, we got an emergency distress signal that read, "Urgent. Saturn 6 contains vital information. Enemy of the witness on Titan. If still living, preservation paramount. Do not waste time." When we arrive on Titan, it's assumed that the enemy of the witness is Sloan, the deputy commander who stayed behind on the planet when it was taken. But in reality, it's Asa, a Leviathan, an enormous worm-like creature living in the deep oceans of Titan, who has also formed some sort of psychic connection with Sloan. So this season, the loop is gathering up egregore coral from the seafloor and using it to hone that psychic connection between the two. And, you know, those two are gonna probably need their whole own video discussing how they met, how that relationship formed. But what's important for this season is you know that eventually that strength and connection is enough to get two extremely important pieces of information. First off, and which is probably the biggest of the two reveals, we get hit with the Witness origin story. Just like with us, the Elixni, what was intended for the Hive, the Traveler had bestowed a golden age on the Witness's race. But unlike ours, theirs lasted for not centuries but eons. Not enough for them though. They wanted more. They wanted to find some sort of purpose, some meaning in it. And they spent time studying the Traveler. They began to understand the light as a chaotic force, unbiased, capable of bringing both life and death with no ultimate reasoning. Eventually, they discovered the Traveler's counterpart, the Veil, and studied how its power of darkness linked mind and consciousness instead of things in the physical world. With this power, they found purpose. This granted them the ability to shape the chaos of the light, to create what they call the final shape. And when they bring together the Traveler and the Veil to strengthen that connection, the Traveler fled. But they were not willing to give up their new purpose so easily. With the power of the darkness, the entire people merged consciousnesses in a mass ritual sacrifice, emerging as the Witness, chasing the Traveler since. So, you know, just probably some of the most important backstory we could have gotten coming into the Final Shape expansion. And of course it dropped during the season where everyone burned out. Nobody was playing. On top of that, the very next and final week of the seasonal story gave us a look at what almost has to be the next season's plotline. Asa gives us information that the Witch Queen herself would be able to help us with getting through the portal on the Traveler, and some characters are understandably not thrilled. After what Savathun did to Osiris, I do not think we could possibly get Saint 14 on board. And that's where the season left us, prepped to go resurrect one of our most cunning and dangerous enemies for the greater good. Aside from the plot, what else makes this season so good? I'll tell you one thing about the guns this season. I wish we could get these skins on some better guns. Man, the Taken effect is just so good, but I can't really see myself using any of these. As for the activities, salvage was a mega boring, just a slog. But the deep dives are probably one of the top seasonal activities we've gotten in years. The choose your own buff, choose your own difficulty nature of it made things super interesting, especially when folding in that exotic mission too. I know it was a matchmaking nightmare, but with improvements on that in the future and the LFG system coming in, I hope we kind of see more iterations of this type of activity in the future. Let me know in the comments down below how you felt about it, and also backtracking, let me know if there's any guns I should actually be using from this season, because I haven't found one. I know it wasn't included in the price of the season, but we also got the Ghost of the Deep Dungeon, which really thematically rounds out this season. It also, even better than the deep dives, makes you feel that pressure of being deep. Love it or hate it, fishing came with the season 2, and at least it was some new type of activity, you know, not really something we'd seen, something that didn't involve combat, but you could still get loot for. Pretty cool. And that's kind of a wrap. There's definitely a whole lot more to deep dive into this season, but some of that's probably going to be on the back burner for me, as I'm going to try and pump out some relevant content in the new season. So I'm going to head out. Like, comment, sub down below. I'll see y'all next season. Peace.